Thank you, Juan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juan, for everything, and Dee Dee and Maxie and Eddie,
Juan,
everything that you've done.
You need to stop sharing your screen.
I'm doing that
Okay.
now. I just did it.
All right. Okay, thank you. Now, that was a very informative presentation. I think everyone will agree with that and has agreed to that. So far, we have done, we've heard from Tabitha, our zone annual giving officer, and we've heard from our foundation team. Now we're moving on to Lieutenant Governor Nancy Ross, who has some very good information for our club presidents and a checklist for what we need to do to finish the year strong. And then we're going to start the second part here. Nancy, are you ready? Nancy
Yes,
Ross?
I am.
Okay, Nancy, take it away, if you will.
Hi, welcome everybody for hanging around for this final session. We've had a successful year during a very difficult pandemic time. So we need to go out with a bang and close it out so that Eddie will have good results showing for RI. And then we need to start getting ready for Chapel's year for next year. So Nancy Paulson, would you mind putting up the share screen document? Okay, these are some checklists I came up for administrative duties for the clubs to do.
Hold on for a second. I don't think it's showing up very well.
No, it's not.
So let me stop sharing for a minute and reshare it. I'm not sure what happened.
Anyway, I prepared this document. I've already shared it with all of the club presidents and secretaries and the incoming presidents. And I've updated a little bit since I shared it with them, but I'm going to reshare it again with them after district assembly is over. So this is a document to help you prepare and close out your year.
And is it better now?
Yeah, there's no way to make it a little bit bigger, but that's.
Yes, it's better.
We can see it from here, Nancy.
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, the first category we're going to talk about is membership. This is really important because how many people you have on your rolls on the Club Runner and Club Central My Rotary, that's how many you're going to get billed for on July 1st. The district has some leeway where they can make adjustments if you forgot to take somebody off or something like that, but they don't like having to do it. But I can tell you right now, Rotary International will not delete any people after July 1st. You're going to get paid for them if they're on your database. You're going to have to pay for them. They do that as a hard policy so that they aren't doing massive adjustments on after July 1st on people's bills. So they tell you up front, whoever's there July 1st, that's who you're going to pay for. So you need to go in and delete members that are no longer in the club and add new members. Now, for those that don't know, data rolls from Club Runner up to Club Central My Rotary. If you go in and put changes to membership in My Rotary, it's not going to come back to Club Runner. So the district will not know about it. So you really need to always put in any changes into Club Runner, and it will update to Rotary International if you're synced. And right now, I think almost all the clubs are synced with RI. So you need to complete this probably by the end of May to make sure that everything has been updated at RI, or no later than mid-June. So it's important that you get any changes to your membership. Add your new members, take out the members that are no longer members. Okay, the next subject is Ignite. You need to send in your last Ignite report to Luis Cavazos. Helen Peters will be taking it over for the new year, but you need to close out your Ignite report so you can see if you can get the award or not. So it's very important that you finish up that accomplishment so that you can get recognized for it. Okay, RI goals. Okay. You have to enter all your RI goals into Rotary International, My Rotary, Club Central. they do not go into Club Runner. Club Runner is not a database for your goals. So, Club Runner is not a database for your goals. So go into Club Central to My Rotary, and the goals that you should have input last year, you need to update them to show if you accomplished them, delete them if you did not accomplish it, add in the hours that your club spent on the project, add in the dollars that were collected or are used for that project. This is really important to Rotary International. They keep track of all this data, and that's how they tell the world and investors and everybody what Rotary is accomplishing, how many projects we're completing, how much hours are we spending on service to the public, how much money are we collecting and for the betterment of humanity. So if you don't put it in Club Central, there's no way that they're going to know about it. And also your club won't get credit for having accomplished what Rotary Service of Best Stuff is all about. So I really encourage you, and I will be after the clubs to close out their goals this year and to put in the new goals for next year. So you have until June 30th to close out your goals for this Rotary year. To get any, that's how you get presidential citation. That's how you get any of the foundation awards. That's how you get anything, is by those goals that you put into My Rotary. If you have any problems on the system, please let me know, because I have access to all of the clubs in My Rotary, and I can go in and help you fix whatever your problems is on the program. Also, My Rotary has tons of tutorials in their learning center that teaches you how to do the goal center. And also, you know, your assistant governors and the previous officers in your club should be able to train you on My Rotary. You can always contact me and I can help walk you through it if you need me to. The next thing is the goals for 21 and 22. So your incoming president should input the goals into My Rotary by June 27th. That's why you're ready to go on July 1st, and everybody knows what goals you're planning to accomplish. I also encourage you to have a draft budget prepared with your board on your first board meeting in the new Rotary year. That's the way to start your club out right, so you know what you have and what you're planning and where you're going to go for the year. Many of the incoming presidents have been trained when they went to PETS about doing the goals. So I encourage you to get that done as soon as you can. Okay, club officers for 21-22. All club officers need to be selected for the following Rotary year by December 31st. Rotary gives you until January 31st to input club officers into My Central. And of course you enter that into Club Runner and it will update to Rotary. Well, unfortunately, we still have 20 clubs that have never input their officers for next year. I have already sent out emails to all of the assistant governors asking them to assist me with getting their clubs to get the officers input. We will be working really hard in the next 30 to 60 days to make sure this gets done, because by June 30th, we have to have it as a minimum the president, president-elect, secretary, and treasurer for all clubs. And what I've done in the past, and I will continue to do, is if a club does not submit their officers, I'm going to roll over their current year officers to next year, and then they'll have to go in and change them once they get the officers. But somebody has to be in there because of all of the correspondence that comes out from Rotary. They need to go to the right officers. Our district also wants many of the chairpersons input also, which you've heard on the previous, like the foundation chair, membership chair, public image chair. Those things also, we would like to have them input. But what I'm telling you is what Rotary International requires. The deadline to have them all completed is June 30th. And if not, then they send a very nasty letter to our governor telling him that our clubs are not in compliance and they're in jeopardy of being taken away as a club. because you have to have those officers if you're not a club. So if you have any questions, please contact me because I can help you with this. This is something I can easily help you with, getting the data into Club Runner. So I do want to think we had several areas that I mentioned in there that when I checked on it, the end of April, all their clubs had their officers in. So I was real pleased with those area governors for staying on top of it. Okay, the next thing is your district grants. You just got district grant training. So you should have the final information input to Club Runner and close by May 31st. And requests for grants for next year should be submitted by June 30th. Okay, next slide. Okay, now the District 2021 awards. You have until June 30th to complete all actions and to qualify for the district and Rotary International awards. A form for each award is posted on the district website. Submission will be June 30th. Note, putting in timely club officers and goals are a requirement to receive the district awards. Every one of both of the awards that come out was the Linda Helping Hand and the Exemplary Reward. One of the things besides having filed your taxes, it's also saying, did you input your officers for next year timely? And timely means by February 1st of the current year. So new RI Club Award. This is a new award that Rotary International created. And I don't know much about it, but I put what I found out about it in here. It's the most impactful project of the year award, and they'll recognize the small, medium, and large clubs that have successfully developed and implemented at least one significant project during 2020 to 2021. So that's this Rotary year. The project must have been funded in part by the Rotary Foundation, your district grants, for instance, and more information is available on the district website. The nominations are due November 15th. So you have some time to finish out all the paperwork and see what kind of impact you had the project. And then you need to submit a recommendation for your club to get recognized if you have a most impactful project in your club.
Nancy, this is Nancy Paulson. If I can interrupt on this one, this is actually a program and award that's not coming out of Rotary International. It is coming out of Rotary District 5930, our foundation team. It's they wanted to recognize the people from this year who received DDF grants or were part of the, if they developed one and implemented one, a global grant, a global scholar, one of the other RI grants, but primarily the DDF grants from this year. And so this is a local initiative from 5930. Juan Lira can give you more information, or Didi Aramindez. The reason the nominations were extended to November is even though the grants needed to be completed our current Rotary year, a lot of the clubs could not do that because of COVID issues. So they have talked with Juan, and we've extended the due date for this until November. But this has to do, if your club did a DDF grant this year, this is an award for the small, medium, and large clubs within our district.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that. When I read it on the website, I think that's why I get for making assumptions. When I saw that it was for a district Rotary Foundation, I just assumed it came from RI, but this is wonderful. Thank the district very much for doing this. This is a good way to get people to apply for district grants. So that's a very good initiative. And so keep your eyes out for that deadline. Okay, the next thing is our district assembly, which we're in right now. And this is just part one, which is giving you a quick overview of the deadlines. And we're going to have a more detailed training for an hour next Saturday. And I really encourage all of the club officers and especially the incoming officers to attend, because there's a lot of good information they're going to get in that session to help have an effectively run club. And that is our goal, is to give out some information that will help you be successful. We did the grant certification training today, and then next week we're going to do membership, Ignite, Rotary Leader Institute, and club administration. And all incoming officers should attend, and all Rotarians are invited. And we should encourage our new members to attend, because that's where you learn about Rotary. When you go to these training sessions and you hear all this great information we're putting out, that's how you expand your knowledge of the club, of the organization you're in. So I would encourage your new members to try to attend that session next Saturday morning. And then there, you register through our district website.
Okay, again, this is Nancy Paulson talking. There is no registration for next week. It will be a Zoom meeting, and everybody in the district that has a district email will get an email on Wednesday, the 20th, with the Zoom information in it.
Oh, good.
We do not publish on Facebook or the website the Zoom information. It opens us up to security issues that the IT team does not want to deal with. So you will get an email on the 20th. Then the website does tell you that.
Okay, very good. So
Actually, it does not give us the date, Nancy. It only says you'll get a an email with a link. But I've been asking, and it doesn't say anywhere on the website where it says the link that I can see. That's going to be
it must have been the date that I gave. Must have been on some of the bulletins that I've already sent out on it. And I will go ahead and change the website to reflect that you'll get an email on the 20th.
Yeah, and actually on that, when I wrote this document like a month ago, and I don't think a month ago I knew about, and I just didn't update that. But I did know that you'd be sending out the email because I've seen the emails that have come out about it. But
I was asking in the chat, because it's like there was a reminder that came through from Armando in the chat that we would have the second half next week. But then I couldn't find a link to it anywhere. And so I was chatting back and forth. It really didn't have anything to do with what you had on your presentation here.
Okay.
I mean, that was
my question to you is, did you get a bulletin from me or from the district? Armando's name was there. And last week it came from Darlene Pedersen, our secretary for next year, giving all of this information. Have you gotten those bulletins?
Well, I don't know. I can't find them. That's why I'm asking the question.
Okay.
So
if you're not getting them from the district, anybody, then that means your email is not correct in our database, or you marked it spam in the past.
I'm getting emails from you. I do not know about the one in particular with all of this information on it. Is what I'm not able to find at this moment. So I was trying simply to find a way to get to the meeting next week. I'm getting emails. I get about 100 emails a day, probably like everybody else. So where that email is, I have no clue. I was just trying to find out, in fact, if it was there. Also, the list that Nancy Ross is going through, I think all of us need to have. And I think there was a chat note that it went out to club presidents and secretaries. But if it's posted on the website somewhere, then I can find it and I can print it, because I need to have this list to kind of catch up with what's going on. So
I'll see that. Another thing, anytime I send out, as your webmaster, anything that I send out, bulletins, newsletters, I always start out the subject line with Rotary 5930. So that might be a way for you to search your emails if you're expecting one from the district, that you could use the search, because that's how I always start any district email that I send out, whether it's an email or whether it's considered a bulletin, but it comes via email. Okay? But I'll make sure that that gets up on the website. I'll make sure that this document gets up on the website. And that you can do that. And Nancy, if you can see that you can email it to everybody.
Yeah, I can email it to the district if that's okay with the governors. Because I have access to send it to every Rotarian in the district. And I try not to do that very often because like she said, people get inundated with emails.
Yeah,
But
Nancy,
I
Nancy,
guess this is important because a lot of clubs need to, even the members need to know if they have a change in their membership data, they need to be letting their secretaries know so they can fix it.
Nancy, this is
Nancy
Juan.
Ross.
Okay,
Go ahead, Juan.
Ron, which Nancy are you talking to?
Nancy Ross. Nancy Ross. Yes, Nancy, I'm getting a lot of requests on my chat to please send that document we're talking about right now. Please send it out to everyone in the district. This is very, very important information for everyone to know about. So if you can do that, I'm sure everybody would appreciate it.
Sure. In fact, I'll update that one thing about
Okay,
they're
good.
sending the email out on the training for next Saturday. Once
Right.
I'll update that, then I'll send it out to all Rotarians in the district, and they can
Great.
just delete it if they don't want it.
Okay.
But yeah, I
thank
don't
you.
mind. I can easily get that done today.
Okay,
This is
good.
Dee Dee. This is Dee Dee, the district secretary. Nancy Ross, I want to say thank you so much, but we want to remind everyone here that on that membership, if you're the club secretary or going to be the club secretary, you need to fill out all the information on Club Runner when you enter a new member. Every field is correct. And like Nancy Paulson said, we have to make sure we have your correct email. If not, it gets bounced back. And you're correct. We don't want to send all this email to all the Rotarians because that is the duty of the club president and secretary to be communicating with your club members. We do find that many do not get the information for whatever reason, but also view our website. Nancy Paulson does an amazing job putting all the information that is given to her by the governor on there. So please help us out to do everything that we can so we be a stronger district. So Nancy, thank you so much for this information that you're
Yeah,
submitting to
I
everyone.
started this a couple years ago because I got tired of trying to figure out what deadlines were for everything. So I decided to put in 2 documents. I have another document I will be sharing next Saturday that is it for the whole next Rotary year, all of the deadlines for a lot of the things we have to do administratively in the club. And I didn't want to do that today because that's for next year. But this is the document so we can close out our year and tie up a lot of loose ends. But anyway, I find it's easier to do a club list like this, and it has helped a lot of people understand what needs to get done. But I will this one time, I'll send it out to everybody just to, because there's been so much interest in it. And then we'll, like I said, I rarely ever send documents to all Rotarians, but I'll do it this one time since there's been a request for it. Okay, the next one is the meeting plans for actually I should have been put 21-22. The Chappa's installation will be on June 26th at the Echo Hotel in Edinburgh. And I guess you're gonna register on the district website, Nancy, is that right?
Right.
Okay, so there's more information to follow. We don't have a lot of detail on that yet. The 2021 RI virtual convention will be June 12th to the 16th. Registration is open and the fee is $65. And the district website has the information, the link to register. On November 6th, we're planning to have a district leadership training, which was formerly our 4-in-1 training, and it will be held at TMU Kingsville. So we don't have a lot of data on that yet, but it will be coming out in the future. If you need help in working the virtual meetings that some of you are still doing, the district has several individuals willing to assist you. You can contact the assistant governor or the district webmaster to help you find an assistant. And then I am also available to help for anything, problems or issues you have with club administration. I can do all clubs in Club Runner, and I can do all clubs in my Rotary. So and I can also pull up many reports that will give you information. So just let me know if I can be any assistance to you. Are there any questions on this short session? And there's my information on how to contact me. Thank you very much. I appreciate staying around for this session.
Thank you, Ms. Ross.
Thank you, Nancy Ross. I wanna
Thank
say-
you, thank you.
Just to add what Nancy was talking about, Nancy Ross, she mentioned about club presidents entering their officers and so on into Club Runner, and how the information, if you were to go into myrotary.org, how if you entered there and it doesn't flow downward. We're going to have another session with Nancy Ross about Club Runner after the Assembly Part 2, District Assembly Part 2, sometime after that. I will get with Nancy, we'll put the details together, and we'll go over that, because that's very important what she just said. And I know, and I'm aware of a lot of club presidents don't have Club Runner or have access to it. And we have ways for you to get that. Please be patient. We're going to put it all together for you, and we're going to make sure that everybody has a way to do that and fulfills this checklist before the end of the year. A couple announcements. Again, thank you to everyone who's been on with us. We've had a great attendance. Again, I want to thank you to Tabitha, our guest speaker. Thank you for the foundation team, and thank you, Nancy Ross. As she mentioned, the upcoming events we have for next week, we have District Assembly Part 2. It is next Saturday, same time, and I think I think Nancy Paulson's already talked about the link and how we're going to get that. And Helen, if you're there, would you like to say a few words about District Assembly Part 2?
Just looking forward to seeing everybody next Saturday. Again, you'll get the link on Wednesday in your email. It's open to everyone in the district, so let's have a great turnout. And also May 26th, when we're having a special membership meeting on the president from Plano West, who grew his club from 21 members to 61 members during COVID. So we have a lot of things on the horizon, and I hope you or some people from your clubs can attend. That's all, Armando. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And also the agenda for District Assembly Part 2 is on the website, and we have a great lineup. I'll be talking about the district goals and the theme for the upcoming year. We have a special guest, the Zone Director, RI Director, Susie Howe will give us a special presentation to us. We'll hear from Helen Peters, Lieutenant Governor membership coming in, and we're going to hear from the other type of memberships, Ignite program, RLI, Rotaract, Alumni, RILA, and 408 test. And then we're going to hear from Juan Lita on some timeline goals for foundation, and then again with Lieutenant Governor Administration Nancy Ross, and we're going to go a little bit more in detail on the Club Runner and the checklist. So if I missed anything on the installation banquet, I will get you more information. The Edinburgh Rotary Club is the host, and Trisha Manal is the installation coordinator for me, banquet chairperson, excuse me. And we'll get more information out and to everybody and to Nancy Paulson for the website. I need to work with Darlene on a little bit more details, and we'll get that out to you as soon as possible. Did I leave anything out, Darlene? Juan, anything that I left? Dee Dee? Nancy Paulson?
Armando, I think you're doing thank you so much for asking.
I think
This is a little reminder to bring more Rotarians on May the 22nd. The more the merrier.
Okay, I think that's
We're
May
good.
20th you meant, didn't you?
No, May 22nd. She's
May
correct.
26th. Oh, May
Yeah,
22nd?
Right. She's talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, I
the-
see. I got you. Okay, I misread it here. Okay, May 22nd. Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you, Darlene, for correcting me. Okay, Juan, any last questions? Last
No, just want
comments?
to, on behalf of all of us,
Nancy?
thank everybody for their participation. It's been really excellent this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, how about District Governor Eddie? Is he still on? Nope. Okay, well,
I'm still here. I'm still
Eddie,
Oh,
here.
there he is.
last comments from you, Eddie.
No, a great session. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you for all the special guests. And just please adhere to, or take notice of that checklist that Nancy Ross put out, because some of those are some important timelines to remember as we close out this Rotary year and move into the next Rotary year. And, you know, we're not just stopping with my year and reinventing the wheel with the Mondos. We're keeping our momentum going. And so please, this is keep it rolling, keep building on what we're doing, because we're doing a great job. And so please adhere to those timelines. And if anybody has any questions or needs assistance, feel free to contact myself or anyone on the district staff.
Well, thank you, Eddie. I assure everyone here that we do have this District Assembly Part 2 coming up next week. We're still in the middle of May. We're still coordinating and planning for June. We do have the installation banquet for the 26th. We are going to have a few more seminars or webinars prior to with the assistant governors. We're going to meet with the president-elects one more time. We're going to talk about Club Runner again after the District Assembly Part 2. So we have a lot coming up. I don't want to throw everything out there at one time. Once I get all the details, a little more details, we'll put it out to Nancy Paulson to put on the website. We'll notify everybody. And with that, I just want to say thank you, everybody. We had a great attendance today, great presentations to everybody. Thank you all for the hard work. I appreciate everything you do for Rotary. And remember, we're all in this together, and have a great weekend. Enjoy the rain. I got a lot of rain coming in right now. So there goes my weekend. But anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. And thank you for attending. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.